Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a Friday afternoon. It's the day that Harry's hearing is going on in the United States about his visa application. It's what I thought I would be reading on today, but no, something else has happened, as often happens in these royal readings or royal adjacent readings. And this is to do with the Dan Whitten alleged sexual offences case. And he has now been cleared completely by the Metropolitan Police. And so if you aren't up to speed with what has been going on, I'm going to spend a little bit of time filling you in this reading. And this little preamble, which will be quite a long preamble, actually not a little one, will cover both of the readings that I'm doing today. So to put you in the picture, if you're not following this absolutely minutely, Dan Whitten was accused of some very, very serious sexual offences. And there was basically character assassination carried out by a newspaper called Byline Times. And they named him directly, they accused him directly, which is contrary to the law in the United Kingdom about protecting people who were accused of such things, such alleged offences. They really went after him in a very targeted way, basing their accusations on evidence provided to them by a convicted fraudster or something similar, Dan Evans, and someone else on Twitter. And that someone else went under the handle Sarah Data. I say Data here where I am. And she really did a lot of rebel rousing, and not only rebel rousing but fundraising involving the squaddies to get this story out there to support the Byline Times. Along the way, she inadvertently doxed herself. It turns out that she allegedly, let's throw in allegedlys all over this because it's tricky legal territory, she allegedly outed herself as being a Google employee, interestingly. She could have been spotted out and about in a photograph in New York. She comes from New York, allegedly. She might have been spotted in a photo with Meghan. Nobody is sure of that, so that's a rumour. I have to be very clear about that as well. Harry's lawyer, David Sherborne, was very loud in his condemnation of Dan Whitten. And so there is a very strong partial component to this takedown of Dan Whitten through Byline Times. He lost his job at the Daily Mail as a columnist and his job on GB News as a presenter because of an error of judgment with someone he was interviewing who said something rather unfortunate. We needn't go into that. So he's been through quite a torrid time. Lady C knows Dan Whitten very well, and she, on her YouTube channel last night, came out, because Dan Whitten has just been cleared by the Metropolitan Police, absolutely exonerated, not a shred of evidence to back up any of these allegations. She came out very directly and said that he was taken down very specifically because he didn't believe Harry and Meghan's lies about certain things. We can speculate what those might be. And he was very, he focused on them when he was writing his column and presenting on GB News. And she says that is why they went after him. And she has basically called out David Sherborne and Harry and Meghan indirectly, David Sherborne pretty directly, and basically said they're going to meet their karma as a result of what they did to Dan Whitten. So she was absolutely strident in her accusations, very clear. And so a lot of people are speculating that this is the comeuppance that she has been promising for Harry and Meghan, the spring comeuppance. And Dan Whitten has announced through his lawyers that he will be suing Byline Times and Dan Evans, who provided some of this falsified evidence, who has also provided evidence in Harry's court cases, or court case, at least one of them. the newspaper hacking, all of that stuff. So Harry is implicated just by association. I'm not accusing Harry of having anything to do directly with this, or Meghan. Let's make that very clear. But by association, the Sussex squad, the Sarah Data person, and all the rest of it, they are implicated by association. We're going to look at them in the next reading. I'm going to look at Dan Whitten right now, because he's come out and said he is going to sue Byline Times, Dan Evans, and various other people for ruinous damages. So our first little reading here with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot is going to be just a 5-card reading from Dan's perspective. I'm not necessarily a fan of his, I have to say, but when someone is targeted like this in this absolutely appalling way, and at the same time loses his job and his reputation is absolutely annihilated, then from a point of fairness and justice, then yes, I'm delighted that his name has been cleared, and hopefully he has a fair shot at getting some financial recompense for what he has gone through in the past 6 or 8 months. Absolutely. Let's remind you that this is a tarot reading for fun and entertainment. We're looking at rumor and speculation. It is all my opinion. I'm looking at the energy around the story, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. Very important that you read it, form your own opinions. And so we're going to look at this just from Dan Whitten's point of view right now, how he's feeling about his name being cleared finally, how he feels about the Sussex squad and the people adjacent to the Parkles and also the Parkles, what he might know about the Parkles that might have been behind this character assassination. We're going to ask that question here, and then how his court case is going to go, his claim against these various parties, I assume for defamation. So that's where we're heading with this one, not the story, as I say, that I was expecting to be reading on today, but it is the story I'm reading on, and just doing an energy reading to see what is going on. And I think we've got our cards warmed up, juiced up now. 5-card reading. We're going to look at this story from the Parkles' point of view in the next reading and see if there are going to be any ramifications for them, but just to see from his point of view and how he's going to do through this next phase of this saga. That's where we're heading, first of all. So sorry about the long preamble, but it is for those of you who don't really follow these things, as I say, minutely. So let's see what's going on. And I was expecting that card, the card of ruined reputation. The 4 of Swords has come out as our underlying energy in this reading. There it is. It's come out in the reverse, which means that he's been through absolute hell. He hasn't been able to sleep, to rest, to heal from these accusations. He's very toxic, very damaging accusations. I did follow the story at the time. It was absolutely revolting, the things that he was being accused of. I won't go into details now because of the processing issues with YouTube, shall we just say. But you can go and investigate yourself and find out what's really behind all of this. 4 of Swords in the reverse, underlying energy. Somebody who has suffered tremendous reputational harm. And again, just an energy reading. Situation that he dealt with. He's lost his paying gigs. The Page of Pentacles here has come out in the reverse. That is, he's lost money. He's lost contracts, because the Page of Pentacles for me is about contracts and negotiations and things like that. Communication, pages are communication. Page of Pentacles, writing for a living, communicating for a living. And loss of that income, loss of that money source, very clearly, and very intentional, according to Lady C and what she claims and what she knows. And as I say, she's very connected to Dan Whitten, very intentional blocking of him. Page in reverse, blocked communication, blocking of his way of earning a living to prevent allegedly, according to Lady C, him exposing some of the lies, according to Lady C, that Harry and Meghan are guilty of. So let's see how he's feeling right now. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice a bit. Right, I'm back, a little bit croaky. It's a lot of pollen around at the moment, and I'm a little bit hay fevery at the moment, as you can probably hear. So how's he feeling right now about being exonerated? King of Wands, very, very, very pleased. Very powerful energy, very dynamic, excited energy. Next phase. This is fantastic news. This is out there. It's restoring him. It's media. It's drama and theatre. The King of Wands back in his commanding position, back on TV, back on GB News, back writing, back communicating, back in, it's not entertainment, it's news, but sometimes news is entertainment. It sounds like a terrible thing. Hopefully you know what I mean. But very positive energy, back feeling alive again, feeling powerful again, feeling motivated again. As I say, Four of Swords in reverse, he has been through hell, and the hell is ongoing. Even if right now this is fantastic news and he feels reinvigorated and positive about life again, confident, you know, he might have been really depressed. I'm getting from this King of Wands. Wouldn't be surprising at all if he felt really depressed. It's the kind of thing that could really cause very serious harm to someone in terms of their mental health, apart from the financial damage that has been done to him. It could be incredibly dangerous, the accusations that were leveled against him for his own well-being. Let's just put it like that. I'm being cryptic, but I'm sure you can read between the lines. How's he feeling about the Sussexes, the Sussex squad, the Flying Monkeys, all of that? How's he feeling about all of that right now? That's the Eight of Wands, and it's in reverse, blocked, stopped. And they have been stopped because what has been interesting is that since the beginning of the year, quite a few of the real rebel-rousers on some certain social media platforms have taken down their accounts, deleted posts, gone pretty quiet. And that is this Eight of Wands. It's social media, it's messaging, it's trolling, it's doing those kinds of things. It's been blocked, it's been stopped. Absolutely stopped. And I know that they have been targeting certain YouTubers and people who have done a lot of digging, research, exposing of the squad and of the Sussexes too. Let's call them the Sussexes. They want to be called that. Let's call them that. And their falsehoods, their ruses, their machinations, their whatevers, they've been through a terrible time. Many people who have made this their cause, their quest, have found themselves really on the receiving end of some very vicious trolling, and it's been stopped as of now, as of this news, and as of what Lady C was talking about last night on her YouTube channel. Let's throw in an allegedly, just for the sake of allegedly. What does Dan Whitten know about the Parkles? Lady C referred to their lies very directly. What does he know about them that is so dangerous? We got the King of Pentacles. That's a Harry energy. It's not the card that I was expecting might show up. Interestingly, I was expecting more of an Empress to show up, the Mother card. But no, we've got a Harry card that has shown up. And it is... it's a money card, business deals. Money, finances, deals, merching, things like that he might know about. He might know some very uncomfortable things about Harry personally as well. I've just had that insight slide into my mind. So it's not only about money, it could be very directly about Harry himself personally, quite intimately. Just what is downloading for me, and I of course just read energy. So this is an energy reading, and that is what's coming through for me. So there's quite a lot in there. Some public, some to do with contracts, deals, associations, business deals, business associations, and some that's much more personal and related to Harry very personally. So, how's the next phase going to go for Dan Wootton in terms of suing? I think Byline Times is a bit of a rag, a one-hit wonder. I don't think they have much in terms of resources. So if he's going after them for ruinous damages, I personally don't think he's going to see much money from them, but perhaps there are other people that have deep pockets and he can go after. How's it going to go for him? That's my speculation, of course. The Sun in reverse is going to be difficult for him. It might take a long time because one of the energies that comes through cards in the reverse is delayed activation. I say that quite a lot on this channel. The Sun upright is tremendous success, accomplishment, abundance, joy, all of that stuff. In reverse, difficulty. Difficulty seeing clearly. Difficulty getting to the bottom of something, I'm inclined to believe, when I see that card in reverse, that he might find it difficult to trace things to their origins, their sources, even though there are lots of screenshots, lots of people have been following this, documenting this. Stuff's been deleted, people have covered their traces, people have possibly been quite sneaky in hiding what they're up to. It's not telling me that it's going to be a spectacular victory. It's not telling me he's going to make tons of money. It's not telling me he's going to be very happy while this goes on. And litigation, and particularly litigation of this sort, can be incredibly difficult to go through, because for sure they're going to dig up things about his personal life that he probably would rather not have discussed in public. And they might not have the resources that are going to compensate him for all the things that he has lost. And as I say, delayed activation of this energy, it might take a long time. It might cost him a lot of money to get something that, when it finally comes through, if that Sun card ever does activate in a positive way, he might look back at it and think, I've just been through hell for all this time, and I don't feel that I have really been compensated. And I think in a situation like this, it's very difficult ever to feel that you are wholly vindicated. You don't get your life back. You don't get those lost months and maybe even years back. And your reputation is always going to be slightly tarnished by something like this. It's going to stick in people's minds. So it's a difficult situation. And I'm sorry for him to see a card like that come out as the outcome of this reading. But there it is, Four of Swords, reputation, absolutely ruinous damage to his reputation, Page of Pentacles in reverse, lost income, lost contracts, lost deals, potentially going on in future because of that outcome card. Right now, he's feeling much more invigorated. He's very happy that this hate, this toxic energy has been blocked from social media, from the squad and the rest of them, whoever the rest of them is. And he does know something, particularly, I would say, about the deals the Sussexes have made, and also possibly some quite personal dirt on Prince Harry. And that, I have to remind you, is just my own speculation as an energy reader. So that's it. We're going to look at the Paracles next and see what this might bode for them. And thanks for watching this one. I hope to see you over there.